I get asked all the time, so you know Jimmy? And I said, yeah, I've done business with him a long time. And then they say, well, how did you get to know him? I mean, how'd that work out? I said, well, time, fate, and him walking into my office in 1988 and saying, hey, I need to build a new store. So he looked over the cubicle that my desk was behind at the time. I'd been there for 5 or 6 years and grown up in the restaurant equipment business, and this braggadocio sort of loud kind of guy who pulled up in front of our office in a Harley decided to ask me about buying kitchen equipment for a sandwich shop, and he listed off what he needed, and he listed off when he needed it, and I thought it was the most brilliant way to simply get into the restaurant business I'd ever seen. So it was pretty remarkable right off the get-go. So we worked together and put together the first equipment package. We sold that one, then we sold another one, and there were some other progressive things that happened, and we started tweaking it a little bit, and I showed him a few things that might help improve his operation, and I delivered the equipment, I did the design, and of course I worked with some of my co-workers on billing procedures and systemizing it, and then we started talking about major distribution, and all of a sudden it's 1995 and he's getting ready to franchise. I got married in 96, did 12 Jimmy John's that same year, and built other $2.5 million worth of food service equipment from Kansas City to Chicago to Champaign to Nashville. It was all scattered around the Midwest. So it was a frenetic pace, and I was loading the trucks and delivering the equipment and billing and doing the quotations and all those things. And much like Jimmy, I saw every aspect of what it took to execute a Jimmy John operation. In 96, I hired a guy that did 1,500 Target stores, and I said, I think we're going to do a lot of Jimmy John's. And I really need to know how to manage that data and handle that information so that my team and I can be very efficient with what Jimmy does, because they build out these stores in 4 weeks. I got to be able to deliver the equipment in 3 weeks, and I've got to be able to drop it on site right away. So he gave me a few tips, and he showed me these big ledger sheets, and I transferred those into an Excel spreadsheet so that we could really move the data and handle it and email it and digitize it better. And from there, we started franchising. I moved up to Chicago in 95, worked for a big food service company, started KECdesign in 2000 because we were really rocking and rolling. And Jimmy had moved back to Champaign in 2000 because he had to take care of his stores, he had to take care of his operations, and that corporate-owned entity is what really fed the beast of the franchise organization before it was self-perpetuating. So a lot of love, a lot of similarities in our organization, ground-up situation. Jimmy has his 10,000 hours in sandwich making by probably 1998 or 99. I had my 10,000 hours and plus by about the same time. And then there were JJ conventions, and we started, intermingling with franchisees, and you had all sorts of type A personalities that wanted to contribute to the brand that way. And JJ would make predictions, usually around convention time. Proc, we're going to do this. You need to expand your warehouse space. You need to add people. You need to be ready for the next wave. We don't grow straight up. We grow in steps and increments, and we rest and then we go again, and then we rest and then we go again. And generally I said, yeah, Jimmy, I think I understand. I always believed what he said, and we always built for what we expected to do, not what we thought we were going to do. We really wanted to continue to grow the brand. Looking at new innovative ways in kitchen equipment and smallwares, and quite honestly, I'm one of those vendors of many who Jimmy pushed to be better. So I guess I'm probably a better restaurant equipment dealer than I ever imagined I would be, but he certainly found capacity in me and my team building capabilities and my ability to find people to help us execute and meet, I guess the next generation of sandwich makers. Hey, listen, I got to go tend to a franchisee, but if there's one thing we do every day, that's earn the business. That's what Jimmy expects. That's what we deliver.